And the last thing I just want to throw out for some additional comments, and I think this is so important, and this, as you were talking about this, this is not always in the forefront of my mind, but eosinophilic drug reactions are really a major concern when when we encounter them clinically. And whether this is, classical dress, which can have a galloping course and lead to fatality, or whether this is just an eosinophilic generalized drug reaction to, allopurinol or something like this. These patients are really, really sick, and they need to be recognized as such, and pull off any putative inciting factor, and while you're trying to sort this stuff out. I've seen this time and time again, and it's a tragedy when it happens and not picked up.
Agreed. With my critical care hat on, seeing some of these patients get very sick from drug exposures, it's amazing how it can be overlooked. And at some point a light bulb goes off that some of these patients are actually reacting to one of their medications.
Particularly now, just anecdotally, I'll tell we're kind of coming out of it, but the term cytokine storm has become colloquial, and now that the vast majority of the public has had COVID, so having COVID and then 6 weeks later being hyperinflammatory doesn't mean that it's a COVID cytokine storm, and it may be the antimicrobials that someone was put on in the intervening time. So it's add some levels of complexity to our medical decision making, but awareness is important.
Yeah, I'll just add, and I think that it's easy to think when somebody comes in sick and all these eosinophils and everything else, we're looking for what's new that's wrong and trying to figure it out, right? And I think it's important to remember and hard to do to step back and think about meds that we're putting our patients on and actually going back to review that list that, we're supposed to do no harm, but sometimes what we have these patients on can cause a lot of these symptoms, and it's sometimes hard to remember to do that. So I think it's a good point.